What I want to talk about today are a few OBS tips and tricks for you guys to use that maybe you don't already know about. We're going to go over that. Let's get into it. I'm very surprised that a lot of people don't know about simple things like scene nesting, for example. There are a few other things that people haven't even heard of, let alone know how to do. Well, today what we want to get into is something that we always try to do, and we always try to help out in the community of streamers, because there's so many streamers today, and the problem with that is not that games get saturated so much. That's not really a problem. It's more a problem that the quality of everyone's streams goes higher and higher and higher and higher. And I think I'm a little to blame for it. I think there are a lot of different YouTubers that are to blame for it, but let's put a little vigor in this competition, shall we? So the reason why you shouldn't use groups, but you should use scenes, is because you can't put groups within groups, but you can put scenes within scenes, within scenes, within scenes, and overlapping them. What we do on our channel is we have created an intermission screen, and within that intermission screen, we have other scenes that we've created, like for instance, a camera scene that has my webcam and a shadow image behind it. And using this, I've created an intermission screen, and I've also created a live scene. Depending on whatever game that I want to play, all I need to do is take that intermission screen or that live screen, and I'll duplicate it for whatever game I'm gonna play. So in my OBS list, as you can see, it's filed off so that it's per game, but there's very, very minimal changes within these scenes. And I've been able to do it that way, so it's very, very easy. And that way on my stream deck, all I have to do is hit a button and it changes scenes automatically. Now let's move on to the second piece, and this is filters. If you've never used filters, now's the time. And the reason why I say if you haven't already is because most people haven't used the filters at all unless they've used a green screen before for the chroma key. Now, if you use a webcam, you should really be using some color correction filters. This is going to be able to take your webcam, your crappy little $50 or Logitech C920, and be able to beautify it with just light touches to the color correction. I've said this before in other videos, and the number one thing that can help your camera look better is lighting. So if you don't have that already, you should go pick up just any cheap lights to make that camera look a little bit better. But I've already done another video on that, I think. I want to stick to the color correction because it's very, very easy to screw up. Like, very easy. You can make a $500 camera look like crap if you just don't know what you're doing. What I would suggest, figure out what kind of camera you have, go onto YouTube or Google and look up a specific color correction tutorial for that camera, because all different cameras require a little bit different tweaking to that specific camera. This can be a whole nother video, and I'm gonna do a video on this later on. For now, try to go look one of those up. That's going to help you immensely and make your camera look 20 times better. I love how easy and cookie cutter Streamlabs OBS is. I love it. You can experiment so much with it, and there's a lot to offer on that, and you should stop using it. Reason why is because there are so many other capabilities with the original OBS Studio. OBS Studio has everything that Streamlabs OBS has, except for one thing: the automated insert all of your images and GIFs and overlay type things instantly from one that you like gotta buy, or buy the premium package over on Streamlabs OBS. Really the only thing that it has to offer, and that's great for new streamers. If you're watching this video, you're trying to get into a little bit more technical aspects to make your stream look better, you should stop what you're doing and start trying to figure out how to best transition from Streamlabs OBS to Stream Elements. Now, the reason why Stream Elements is because Stream Elements is like a plugin for OBS Studio. OBS Studio, you'll be able to learn what the raw software is, and that it has so many other capabilities that you just don't know about yet. But once you continue to research and make your stream better, you will thank me. We already have a video made of how best to transition over from Streamlabs OBS to Stream Elements, and you should definitely go and check that out first. But the transition doesn't need to happen all at once, but you will see that once you start dabbling a little bit into Stream Elements, there's a lot more features and you might be a little overwhelmed at first, but it is very, very easy, and it is extremely worth it. Like, I can't hype it up enough. Please transition over because it's so much better, and especially because the next thing that we're going to talk about you can't do on slobs. Now let's get into the more technical stuff, and this has to do with plugins and widgets. And some widgets you can use on Streamlabs OBS, but the plugins, they're like plugins you would use for your Google Chrome or your web browser. All of them don't work with Streamlabs OBS. You need to be using the original version, OBS Studio, and Stream Elements version, which is OBS Live, is OBS Studio. All plugins work with OBS Live, which is OBS Studio, because OBS Live is in fact a plugin for OBS Studio. So the other plugins, you've already seen a couple of them. If you've watched my stream, you've seen a few of them, but the couple that you probably most are likely to have noticed are that in my starting soon screen, you have a blur screen, and that blur screen is a filter, which we talked about earlier, but it is indeed part of a plugin. And also the move transition, the transition I have where all of the scenes are moving around, that as well is a plugin. So if you like to use that, you can't use Streamlabs OBS. And if you don't want to, you don't care about that, that's fine. But I'm telling you, that looks clean. I can't tell you how many times I've had people come in and just watch the transition and be like, hey, how'd you do that? You can't do that. How'd you do that? And then they go and look through all of their transition. They're like, did he use a duration? Did he move it? Like, what is that? It's not there. It's not there in Streamlabs OBS. It's there in OBS Studio, and you need a plugin for it. And I have another video that I'll link in the description that has the tutorial on how to install this plugin. We definitely go and check that out. And we're going to be making another video that goes over not just that plugin or the filters plugin, but a few other plugins that we also use on this channel. Now, this last one is really for everybody, whether you're using Streamlabs OBS or you're using OBS Studio. This works on everything. It is widgets. Most widgets work on both softwares, both Streamlabs OBS and OBS Studio. And the ones that I'm talking about are the ones that we've already done videos on. One in particular is the Discord overlay, where you can take a voice chat from your Discord and you can place it over top of your scene or your source or whatever, and you can have everybody that is in that Discord call visible to your stream. So if you're playing games like Among Us or even Battle Royales, really any game that you want to be able to have all of your viewers see who your teammates are or who you're playing with, it works best with Among Us because you can see who is chatting, you can see who is playing, you can see who's dead, and that way it makes a lot more sense for the viewer. I would definitely go and check that video out. That is by far our best video freaking backpacking this channel. The other widget is also very, very, very helpful, and it makes your stream just look clean. If you are looking at this video, you more than likely have already been playing music on your stream, and hopefully it's copyright free, because the DMCA thing is starting to scare people and we don't know what's gonna happen with it. So in my suggestion, go look up some great copyright-free music, and I'm going to leave a link to an artist that has his own copyright-free music that he lets all streamers use on their platforms during their streams, in their YouTube videos, and it's actually what you're listening to right now. Stream Beats by Harris Heller is a copyright-free music that you can use on whatever platform. It's freaking amazing. This is not a sponsor. It's just that good. It is not your typical elevator music crap, and it is free. Absolutely free on Spotify, and also don't need to worry about DMCA strikes. Best of both worlds. Everybody's happy. But this widget allows you to be able to use either your YouTube account or your Spotify account and show what song is playing currently on your stream. So nobody's asking, where did you find that amazing copyright-free music? Well, it's over here, and they see what song it is. That way they can instantly go and look it up for themselves and be able to use it themselves. But for you, it does take a little bit of work. It needed to be a video all on its own, so that's what we did. Link to that down in the description down below. That's pretty much everything that I have for you guys for today's video. If you enjoyed it, you learned something new, be sure to give us a thumbs up. It helps the video with its ratings, and consider subscribing because we do videos like this every week, at least once or twice a week, to help you guys with your channels. And also, if you guys have any questions, you can either come check me when I'm live. I'm live over on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and most Saturdays. The best way to get your questions answered is by joining the Discord server, because there's hundreds of people that are working on their streams and their channels just like what we're doing right now, and most of them have already gone through it and done some of these things for their own channel. So that's the best way to get your question answered and your problems resolved and better quality on your stream. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, but make sure you stay busy, work hard, and we'll see you in the next one.
I mean, we're gonna be snapping necks and sticking them with parasite and everything else.
So not cashing
got a
checks.
point.
The only checks I'll be cashing are, you know, after I rob Stu in his wallet, after I kill him.
I mean, you rob me every time I edit a video, so.
Wow.